seen the forbidden footage of the running demon that was suppressed for over 20 years? Because now millions are watching this and realizing that the myths of the underworld are real. A video recently surfaced from Brazil that is shattering every law of physics. It was recorded back in the year 2000, but it's only being seen by the public now. At first, it looks like a normal day on a Brazilian highway, but as the camera pans toward the grass, the atmosphere turns cold. Look closer because the footage captures a pitch-black figure sprinting past a line of cars at the speed of a supercar. And the details are terrifying because you can clearly see a jagged horn on its head and a spear in its hand. This isn't a person, and this isn't a glitch. It's a real-life demon caught in broad daylight. But here's the part that is sending a chill down everyone's spine. The biggest mystery isn't the creature itself, but the cover-up. If this was recorded in the year 2000, why was it hidden from the world for over 2 decades? Who kept this tape in the dark, and why did they finally let it out? But what do you think about origin of this video? Tell me your theory in the comments.
Zoom possibly dead after watching this last footage on his camera. Now look at this. Looks like he tried to shoot the Bigfoot. I don't know if he missed or he hit on the Bigfoot, got mad. And this was the last anybody has seen of this hiker with his camera found by his camping site.
My people, what the hell is this? Caught on a lure for all my thumper shrimp buddies out there that be catching supposedly all keepers and stuff. Yeah, show the real picture. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? For my thumper shrimp lures, the gurus. Leave it in the comments. Hell no, Eddie, don't get excited now.
I don't know what it is, but I know some people will go ahead and stick it in oil and fry it. They're probably good as hell.
This video was secretly smuggled out of Antarctica. That looks like a polar bear with an alligator tail. Seriously, a polar bear with an alligator tail? Are they doing experiments down there? You never know what's going on in Antarctica, because those people don't talk. Shabadoo Bushkis, Shabadoo.
I ain't gonna lie, that's hard though. Polar bear with a alligator back, that is crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
What? Attends, vite, attends. Fais gaffe. Parce que là, si tu rentres dedans, tu peux pas sortir, hein. Tu vas glisser, là. Attends, ouais, attends. Attends, j'arrive. Fais gaffe, hein. Ah, putain, bâtard. Tu vas envoyer tout sur moi. Wesh. Putain. Attends. Vas-y, je laisse ma trotte là, moi. Ouais. Monsieur! Merde. Putain. Mec, ça se trouve, attends. Ça se trouve, il s'est coincé dans l'arbre ou dans la neige. Attends, il y a peut-être des en-têtes.
I don't know what they were saying, but my universal language is running far away from that and getting the hell up out of there.
Yo, I just want to know, what would y'all do in a situation like this? And this ain't AI. This somebody really driving down the road and seen what they saw. And they saw what they seen. So I want to know, what would y'all do in this situation? Because me, I would have skedaddled, got the out that gym on Photo Grave, y'all. Shit is crazy. 2026, man.
Yep, I would have race car racer reversed the fuck up out of here.
What is going on?
No clue. It's a
Holy cow! Oh my god!
I ain't gonna lie, that would have been crazy. Especially all them. I would have been like, hell no. I would have been up inside in the room playing Call of Duty. Like, that ain't even out there.
The survivors of Epstein said he'd shapeshifted into a reptilian.
These people might not actually be fully human. They may be hybrids or shape-shifting beings. And in support of this, consider this testimony.
Hold on. First of all, I'm not sure if this is part of it, but his nose look a little weird. Or is that how people... I don't know.
From Juliet Bryant, who is a verified survivor of Epstein, where she talks about him turning into some kind of lizard or serpent.
I've seen anyone else turn into anything like that. And it happened. It was like a weird hologram and it had like black eyes. You know, and I also saw Epstein shapeshift on the island.
Oh, my bad. They talking about Epstein turning into a... okay. My bad.
You know, when I was on the island, I saw Epstein like suddenly, and people have actually asked some pretty good questions recently. It wasn't like I saw him turning like the Incredible Hulk. What happened is, it was when I was taken in the bedroom the one time, and he had like a blanket up to here, and then I looked away and I looked at him, and suddenly it wasn't him anymore. It wasn't like I saw him turning. It was like it was him, and I looked away, and then when I looked back, it wasn't him. There was this weird creature, and then I looked away, and then I looked back, and it was him again.
Y'all remember that?
That's crazy. But I don't know how true it is. I don't know. You know, but a lot of conspiracies, you know, it just seemed like they could be real, but you don't know for sure. I don't know. So yeah, crazy though for sure. I'm like them. I would have just kept on driving like a normal day.
So Bill Clinton says this almost 20 years ago, but people still think it's too far out that there could be clones among us. And before anyone says that this is AI or something, you can go see this original clip on YouTube. He did indeed say this. And this was following the cloning of Dolly the sheep. Check this out.
I'm asking for a voluntary moratorium on the cloning of human beings until our Bioethics Advisory Commission and our entire nation have had a real chance to understand and debate the profound ethical implications of the latest advances. As we gain a fuller understanding of this technology, we must proceed not just with caution, but also with a conscience. By insisting that not a single taxpayer dollar supports human cloning, and by urging a moratorium on all private research in this area, we can ensure that as we move forward on this issue, we weigh the concerns of faith and family and philosophy and values, not merely of science alone.
So how sure are we that this moratorium stood the test of time, let's say? Of course, I'm unaware of any official cloning that's going on, but it is interesting that 20 years ago, he said, don't do it to humans. But let me know if you think this technology exists in the comments below, and follow for more.
Shark on me. Holy f.
Holy
I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my biggest fears, being in the middle of nowhere in the ocean and some sharks around, big whales or something. I love movies like that, but I would never want to be in that position.
Check it out, family. Y'all see that little black spot traveling in that little circle going towards that pink cloud or whatever that is? This some shit straight out of Harry Potter, ain't it? Damn. Shit is getting crazy in 2026. Now, I don't know if this AI, CGI, whatever the case may be. I'm just presenting this to y'all, and y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. But I will say this. It is some stranger things going on in the Middle East, okay? And the Gov they definitely swiping videos. At the same time, old videos is resurfacing on the internet. But this right here is crazy, man. Y'all ever seen some shit like this? Imagine you looking at your sky and you see this. How you gonna react? But anyway, on Phono Grave, shit is crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking in the sky like, it's the end.
There's no T in Skechers.
Wait, what did he just say?
There's no T in Skechers.
I always remember there being a T in Skechers. Skechers, like, it's in there. I was 10 years old. I specifically got this pair of Skechers to wear to Disneyland for comfort. And I remember there being a T. Like, I remember the T. Look, there's videos of people spelling Skechers with the T all over the place. Here's another one, Skechers with the T. Even this one, it has a T in it. I found this old Reddit forum from 8 years ago, and people are just kind of like, what the hell's going on? Because they always remember the T being there. It was always Skechers with the T to me. I can't remember it not having a T in it. Wait, is it not Skechers with the T? We're definitely gonna find like an old commercial with the T and Skechers. Okay, maybe there never was a T, because this looks familiar, but the more I look at it, the more unfamiliar it looks.
Never will be.
What you talking about, fool? Mr. T's always in sketches.
Look at how they troll us like this. Look at how they do this, just like Fruit of the Loom. You guys are trolls. Everybody deserves free Skechers. Everybody gets a free pair of Skechers just because you guys did this whole thing with this.
That the CIA can take over your car's steering at any moment. Yeah, look up Vault 7. These are released CIA documents. If you own an Audi, a BMW, a Jeep, a Ford, or a Honda, your car operates on the QNX system. So be careful what you say in your car, literally. Anyways, this is my hybrid, and yeah, luckily I don't own one of those. But it does make you think, how many people have died in weird car accidents, right?
That is crazy, but I have a 1996 Ford F-150. I don't think they controlling my shit.
Small country town. Has got one. 1903, this one. Why do they board up the windows? It's that room there. I want to get in that top room. See, look, like no windows. What are you doing in here? That's a urinal. That would have been a toilet, an outhouse. This is where the Freemasons would do who's and we's. Do you reckon that's a good sign? Or a bad sign? Don't know. Maybe we'll never know.
Dude, you are just never gonna let this go, are you? They went to the moon, man, no question. Just give it up already.
Absolutely not. So let me get this straight. You really believe that in 1969, when televisions were still in black and white, and folks were still using rotary phones, and most new cars sold in the United States didn't even have power windows or air conditioning, that we just strapped two cowboys into what was essentially a Coke can with a Chevy small block attached to it, and just launched them motherfuckers out into orbit on nothing more than a hope and a dream, and somehow managed to land that glorified bottle rocket safely on an uncharted lunar surface, where they then got out and played hopscotch for a few hours, and then they got right back inside that and then somehow managed to launch themselves back off the goddamn moon with no infrastructure, and then a few short weeks later, they landed safely back on Earth. You really believe that happened?
I mean,
God damn, you're a gullible son of.
Did you guys hear what just happened in Vancouver? And this could happen anywhere. So we're on the spinning globe here, and I'm like, game changer if you live in basically this area, a huge area. I'll show you a picture. So here's the headline, and this hasn't really been announced too hard. The mainstream hasn't even covered it yet. The government of Canada has agreed to recognize the Musqueam First Nations Aboriginal title in Metro Vancouver. So it would be this much land, which is now going to be, they're going to have title on it. So look, Government of Canada's landmark agreement recognizes them so they get title on land. Now this happened, if you remember, like last year or 2 years ago, where a big chunk of houses in Burnaby, I believe, or Richmond, were changed over to all of a sudden, no, it's on native land, and therefore then the bank said, well, we're not going to get a mortgage on this freaking thing, and someone had been paying taxes and living there for their whole life, and all of a sudden it's not even their own land. Now I already know some of you may think like, this is good, like this is right, but then do we go back to like Turkey and Armenia? Do we go back to parts of Moldova and Hungary that used to be other parts of other countries and take land back and start moving everything around? And what about, like, for example, wherever the Iroquois lands were, before it was the Iroquois, they had to kind of, you know, fight tooth and nail to get it to be their land. Are they going to give it back to the Mohawk? Like, you know what I mean? The Musqueam only owns that, or had that land because they made sure they were defending it from other tribes. Like, you see what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly how this is going to pan out, but let me know your thoughts. Is this good or bad in the comments below, and follow for more.
Weird laws that you've experienced traveling the world.
So I think the famous one that everyone knows about is in Singapore, you cannot chew gum. So you'll never see anyone chewing gum, or if they are, they're breaking the law. I don't know if you'd actually go to prison.
I got gum right now. Crazy.
Maybe it's just a fine, but yeah, no chewing gum. They're very strict in Singapore, and that's why it's a very clean country. It's a weird law. In Turkmenistan, no black dogs are allowed.
Come on, no black dogs. That's crazy.
Racist.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they specified black dogs, but that's the law. Again, this is a very strange one. In Switzerland, it's a very particular law that you are not allowed to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. So if you go for a number 2 after 10:01, you better leave that baby in there because you cannot flush the toilet. So this is actually quite common, not just in Indonesia, but in other places where they have a traffic issue, is that they have to somehow stop some cars coming in. So in Jakarta, Indonesia, to stop the traffic issue, they have some days where they only allow cars with the ending number plate digit is a odd number, or some days is an even number. So it's purely luck of whether you have a odd or even number plate, and you're allowed to drive.
So like on Monday it may only be like odd numbers, and then Tuesday even.
So I guess it's the only way they could think of trying to reduce the traffic, because it's terrible there.
Selling gum is illegal, and the punishment is up to 2 years in prison or a fine. Is this true?
Yeah, it is true. I actually disagree with that because I like gum.
Yeah, gum is not allowed in Singapore.
Oh, really? Like you can't chew it?
You can't at all. Like you cannot even bring it into the country. Like I think people started sticking them on the train doors.
Oh, I see.
So like there was one time where it couldn't close.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I was warned when I first came here. Anyway, I'm not a big chewing gum fan anyway. But yeah, I mean, it can cause so much of unnecessary hygiene issues. So, and I think most people can live without chewing gums.
I don't think a policeman will go up to a foreigner chewing gum and say, you just committed a crime, I'm going to slam a fine.
Every time I see these videos, I'll be like, why is people just sitting there watching this? Like, I am getting the hell away from this shit. The ground got tendernism. You heard me?
The rarest videos ever taken, part 1. Here's some extremely rare footage of a deep-sea serrate octopus drifting across the ocean floor like a ghost. Its body...
I don't care. That's a Luigi's Mansion ghost. For sure. I know a Luigi Mansion ghost when I see one. Get Luigi with the vacuum for sure.
inflates and deflates like a balloon, each pulse a mix of breath and buoyancy. These fragile creatures live miles below the surface, as every confirmed sighting is considered a major scientific event. Recorded in 1899, The Little Girl and Her Cat is believed to be the world's first cat video, filmed by British pioneer Arthur Melbourne Cooper. The short clip shows a girl playing with her cat, now colorized and speed corrected. A rare glimpse into how even over a century ago, humans couldn't resist capturing the simple joy of a cat's affection. Here's a clip showing how a laser can easily destroy the camera on your phone. Those lines are irreversible as the sensor is now permanently damaged. Lahaina Noon is a rare solar event where an entire city briefly loses its shadows, making the world look like a video game before it's fully loaded. It happens twice a year in tropical regions like Hawaii when the sun passes directly overhead at a perfect 90-degree angle, so objects, trees, buildings, and people appear eerily flat as if reality itself hasn't fully rendered yet.
What? Day 9 of reprogramming your subconscious mind in under 30 seconds. Stop taking baths with the lights on, take them in complete darkness. Submerging the body in salt water unlocks the higher faculties of the subconscious mind, allowing you to get any answer you want. That's why on Stranger Things, anytime they wanted an answer...
What? Take bath showers in the dark? I mean, I only take showers. If I try to go in my shower in the dark, I'm messing everything up. Curtains down, everything is getting messed up. Water all over the floor. I can see it being therapeutic, but I don't know.
They will put 11 in the salt bath with their eyes covered, telling you how the mind works. So to get clarity, turn the light off and ask the question in the Epsom salt bath. Do it tonight, come back and comment how it went.
Great knowledge to know.
So anyone who believes that there used to be giants obviously is a bit crazy, right? Like, they're totally wrong. There's no such thing. They never existed. And we certainly have not found any bones of any giants, right? Well, this image here is actually on display in the Vatican, and it depicts the Aztecs taking down what's known as the last of the Quina Metzin giant. So there was apparently a race of giants that they would fight with often. Now, this is not in the Vatican archives. That's a different part of the Vatican where I don't think you can go. I think there's like 50 miles of tunnels underneath that thing with all kinds of things that are meant for the public, I guess. So get this, it was called the Codex Rios, Vatican Codex 3738. It's a 16th century colonial document in the Vatican Library depicting Aztec natives dragging the body of a giant known as Quina Metzin. And this was apparently the last one that they took down. Now, if you don't believe in that, that's fine. But here's an ancient Egypt showing giants, and then here's a normal sized person right there. So, I mean, what do you say about this? And as for the bones, we'll talk about that in another video because officially there are none and we never found any. Did you guys see this World War II veteran being interviewed on British national television? And these two interviewers, I don't think they expected his answer. Many people think he is completely right. Many people think he is just old and kind of losing it. But let me know what you guys think, because this is kind of wild. The UK doesn't usually air things like this.
What does Remembrance Sunday mean for you? What is your message?
My message is, I can see in my mind's eye those rows and rows of white stones of all the hundreds of my friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. The sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that, though?
Oh no, don't be mad at him. He's just speaking the truth for sure. Like, he like, man, what did we really fight for? I feel like a lot of military people feel like that.
Well, what we fought for, was our freedom. We fight for it, even now, it's downsight worse than what it was when I fought for it.
I do wonder what the percentage is of citizens in the United Kingdom who are totally stoked at the way the country is going right now. Because it does seem, unless I'm in my own algorithm, that many people are displeased with it. Not only because of possible erosion of the rule of law, but also the freedom of speech restrictions, which seemingly are getting a little bit crazy over there. But I wonder what specifically he's talking about. And I'm surprised that Google actually AIs this together and says, there are warnings that the government is increasingly using delegated legislation to bypass parliamentary scrutiny, creating a slippery slope towards authoritarianism. So I don't know, but all I know is that when the people, we have the ultimate power, put it that way. And I do think the greatest days are ahead, but maybe things have to get a little bit worse before they get better. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
You can.
And y'all let me know what y'all think about this. You know, yeah, things will get worse before it get better for sure. And yeah, man, y'all let me know in the comments.